to Running for Hearts. This is episode 1 on running an ultra 50K, which is AKA for 31 miles. Thanks for being here with me. This is going to be about scheduling, what you're looking at for the future with your running for this type of run or race. So, going to talk about that. Also, this podcast is mainly, I had open heart surgery when I was just a baby. So, I have congenital heart disease, which is basically you have when you're born with a heart condition. So I had I currently have an overlarge heart and a valve leak. The doctors tried to get me to go on medicine probably when I was like 20, but I never did. Just trying to be healthy and yes, so and eat right, and hopefully that can prolong me a longer life. But I did want to put out there a disclaimer that I'm not a doctor, so I would say if you do go see a cardiologist, you'll want to take his advice, or you could always get a second opinion from another doctor. With that being said, yes, stick with the professionals with their advice. So maybe do that before you start running a 50K. My cardiologist had cleared me to run and said it was good. Yeah. So with that being said, let's talk about scheduling. So with scheduling, I would say that if we're looking at it, you might want to get a pen and paper. Basically, in this podcast or this episode, I'll be running 2 times a week. But that doesn't mean that I'm not exercising through the week. I would definitely recommend one day for your abs. You need to work on your core. You'll also, want to work up your upper body and then your lower body with some weights. So highly recommend that. You can do whatever you want in your schedule. If you want to run 4 times a week or 3 times a week, you can put that in your schedule. But I'm hoping what will come out of this podcast is my knees not being killed, and maybe I'm faster by running less, and and not overdoing it, because there's not much time, and especially if you have a family. So I would say sometimes less is more. So that being said, yeah, I'm pretty excited about this this season, season 3. So let's go into the depth of the schedule. So I would say right now I am about, I started this out at 10 miles. So the first week I did 10 miles, okay? So in the long run, So with that being said, I'm adding 2 miles every week until I get to like 26 miles, right? And I'm going to break from that. So what will happen is that 26 miles, that will be my last week. And then the week after that, I'll be running the ultra, which is 31, right? So, yes. So whether you are at 10 miles or maybe you're above that, right? So maybe you can run 15 miles at any given week, right? So then start from 15 or start from 17, right? Wherever you're at. So just add two, I would say just add 2 more miles each week to that schedule and then work it from there. So if you're trying to run an ultra or a marathon or a 10K, right? Or maybe a half marathon, where are you at this moment in time with your long run? And then work off of that. I mean, if you're a very beginner runner, then maybe you should do 1 mile per week. You know, if you're doing a shorter distance, like 10 miles or half a marathon. But if you're going through a longer distance, and I would say definitely you want to stick to upping it 2 miles per week. Now there's lots of different schedules out there and lots of different opinions for sure. I mean, you can gear up the miles and then trace it back. So what I mean by that is you start running, right? And then maybe 5-6 weeks, then you just do less and just rest a little bit, and then you pick back up and then you ramp up the miles again. You can do that. So there's all kinds of different ways you can do your scheduling and I guess, yeah, do the scheduling and everything. But the way I'm going to do it in this podcast is I'm going to do it like I said. So I'm just going to add 2 miles every week to my long run. And then my run during the week, my one run during the week, I'm just going to keep it how it is. I just run an hour during the week. That's it, which is like 4 miles, 5 miles, right? So, yes, I think it's going to be very forgiving for my knees, which is nice. And hopefully I won't have all these foot pains and I won't have all these knee pains, because in season 2, I feel like maybe I overtrained. So hopefully in this season I'm not gonna undertrain. I'm hoping that it's great, and maybe one season I can just do one run a week or something. I don't know. We'll see. It's all about testing, trial and error, right? So, and hopefully I can do that for you. So, anyways, yes. Something that works for me might not work for you. So, definitely, you can test it out and you can see if it's working for you or not. Anyways, so let's go over the schedule and what's going to work for me and maybe work for you. So if we're looking at 7 weeks, right? 7 days in a week, right? Okay, so if we have our pen and paper out, I would say, let's do the long run on the last day of the week, okay? So if we number 1 through 7, right? Day 1, right? I was doing stairs on day 1. But man, after the long run, my legs are kind of sore, so I might switch that out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do abs on the first day. So what I mean by that is let's do 30 minutes of abs. Okay. 30 minutes of abs, you need to work on your core. So we're going to do 30 minutes of abs, whether that's just continuously working the abs until it's burning, it hurts, man. And you're going to get that nice 6-pack, okay? And I think in episode 2, I'll talk about food, and we're going to combine that with the the workouts, and you're gonna look fabulous, okay? And you're gonna feel fabulous. Anyways, so we're gonna do abs day one, and I think that's gonna give your legs a little break, even though you're gonna work your legs doing the abs, I guess. But it's gonna be a lot better than stairs, I'll tell you that. Okay. So then, let's do upper body. Oh no, let's do after day one, we'll do abs, and then day two, we'll do you can pick from weights, lower body, squats and all kinds of legs with weights, or you could do stairs, or you could do sprints. Okay, and so that's what you want to choose from, and then once again 30 minutes. Okay, and then we're going to do day three. We're going to do upper body. Once again, 30 minutes with weights. If you don't have weights, there's all kinds of exercises you guys can do without weights. Push-ups, shoulders. Man, there's so much. Okay. Then you're going to go on that one run for an hour. And then day 5, let's pick again from weights, stairs, or sprints. Okay. And day 6, we'll do upper body again with weights. Okay, for 30 minutes. Nothing too crazy. Okay. And then day 7, we'll do the long run. Okay, which would be Saturday. If your race is on a Saturday, train on a Saturday, I would recommend. If your race is on a Sunday, or do your long run on a Sunday. Okay. Now, I would say with your schedule, life happens. So, with that being said, you're gonna have to make an adjustment. Whether you get sick, whether your family members get sick, whether your family members have to go out of town for work, and you have to look after kids or whatnot. Sometimes you're gonna have to get up in the morning earlier, or do something on a different day, and you have to adjust on the fly. Okay, and that is hard, but let's try not to make excuses, and just do it. Okay, because you're setting a goal for yourself, and you're gonna want to do that. So try not to, I guess, let life hinder you from accomplishing what you set out to accomplish. Okay, because it's gonna happen. Nothing that I just told you is set in stone. I mean, you can miss a workout. You can do your own thing. If you don't want to work out 7 days a week, give up some of those days and just rest. I mean, now, and I understand 30 minutes is a lot, because guess what? Nobody's talking about. Okay, they're not talking about the 30 minutes it takes to even get there. Okay, even if you have the gym at your house, right? By the time you wake up, probably take you 30 minutes to get down there to your workout room, right? You wake up, you eat a little bit, you get in the clothes, and then you work out for 30 minutes. Takes you 30 minutes to get there, or 20 minutes, right? That's already 50 minutes. Then after you're done working out, you gotta shower or get dressed, right? So that's another 15, 20 minutes. So, it could take an hour of your day just to work out for 30 minutes, or even longer than that. So I get it. It's a big commitment. So, but I know you guys can do it. This is just a schedule that I put together that has helped me lose some weight and maintain my weight, and help me with running. So hopefully it can help you too. If this is kind of the first time you're like working out or something like that, you will be sore. I would just recommend stretching, and it'll go away in 5-7 days, and you'll feel fantastic. I know I did some sprints and haven't done sprints for like 20 years. So I was definitely sore for my long run. And it hurt. And I got to do a lot of stretching, I think, because I'm very sore in my legs from the sprints. Which is nice, you know that you're doing some good if you're getting sore, right? Because you're doing something different. Your body's not used to it. So it's good to have some change, for sure. So yeah, and I'm gonna put up a PDF, or I wish I could. I'm just gonna put it in the section, I guess. Just write a schedule. You can copy and paste it if you want, and then you can make a spreadsheet in the Word, or just write it down on a calendar, and maybe it can help you stay motivated, stay focused on your scheduling. So, like I said, you can adjust the schedule to your liking, and it doesn't matter about the distance that you're running. You can do your long runs accordingly to the distance that you're running and to the distance that you can run at this moment in time. So, okay, so keep that in mind. Basically, for me, the reason that I'm doing 10 weeks is because at this moment in time, I can run 10 miles. Okay? If I could run 20 miles right now, then this podcast would be like maybe four episodes long. Okay? So that's it. Okay? All right. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Thank you.